Thanks for staying with the broadcast. Prince Philip, Queen Elizabeth II's husband, has died at age 99, Buckingham Palace has announced. A statement issued by the palace just after midday spoke of the Queen's deep sorrow following his death at Windsor Castle on Friday morning. The Duke of Edinburgh, the longest-serving royal consort in British history, was at the Queen's side for more than her 6 decades of reign. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson paid tribute to the Duke of Edinburgh outside 10 Downing Street.
It was with great sadness that a short time ago I received word from Buckingham Palace that His Royal Highness the Duke of Edinburgh has passed away at the age of 99. Prince Philip earned the affection of generations here in the United Kingdom, across the Commonwealth and around the world. He was the longest serving consort in history, one of the last surviving people in this country to have served in the Second World War, at Cape Matapan, where he was mentioned in dispatches for bravery, and in the invasion of Sicily, where he saved his ship by his quick thinking. And from that conflict, he took an ethic of service that he applied throughout the unprecedented changes of the post-war era. Like the expert carriage driver that he was, he helped to steer the royal family and the monarchy so that it remains an institution indisputably vital to the balance and happiness of our national life. He was an environmentalist and a champion of the natural world long before it was fashionable. With his Duke of Edinburgh award scheme, he shaped and inspired the lives of countless young people, and at literally tens of thousands of events, he fostered their hopes and encouraged their ambitions. We remember the Duke for all of this, and above all, for his steadfast support for Her Majesty the Queen. Not just as her consort, by her side every day of her reign, but as her husband, her strength and stay of more than 70 years. And it is to Her Majesty and her family that our nation's thoughts must turn today, because they have lost not just a much-loved and highly respected public figure, but a devoted husband and a proud and loving father, grandfather, and in recent years, great-grandfather. Speaking on their golden wedding anniversary, Her Majesty said that our country owed her husband a greater debt than he would ever claim or we shall ever know. And I'm sure that estimate is correct. So we mourn today with Her Majesty the Queen. We offer our condolences to her and to all her family. And we give thanks as a nation and a kingdom for the extraordinary life and work of Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh.
The government of St. Lucia has extended condolences to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II on the passing of His Royal Highness Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh. St. Lucia's Governor General, His Excellency Sir Neville Snack, has also expressed deepest condolences. The St. Lucia flag will be flown at half-mast today in memory of Prince Philip. Prince Philip has visited St. Lucia on a number of occasions, most notably in 1966. Prince Philip accompanied his wife, Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, on a tour of the Caribbean, which brought them to St. Lucia. In 1985, Prince Philip again visited St. Lucia and attended the official dedication ceremony of the Leon Hess Secondary School. St. Lucians have also benefited from the Duke of Edinburgh Award program, which became one of the Duke's most remarkable achievements, as it empowered young people from all communities to build their skills, confidence, and resilience. And as St. Lucia prepares to receive Vincentian evacuees, the Royal St. Lucia Police Force is sparing no effort in ensuring that the humanitarian effort is done in the safest way possible. The top cop has assured the public that all the necessary measures will be taken, including patrolling the Caribbean waters as well as background checks.
While one does understand that now is the time to be empathetic towards the evacuees coming from sister islands St. Vincent and the Grenadines, concern has been mounted as to security for individuals coming into the island, as well as whether individuals will be vetted before letting them in on the island. During an emergency press conference on Friday, Police Commissioner Milton Daisy explained that individuals will be brought into St. Lucia in an orderly manner.
The Immigration Department would be involved, so the persons would be, will be a form of registration, so we know exactly who has come in, the persons who have come in, where they will be at the time. And also, we're expecting persons coming in via cruise ship. Now, before these persons have disembarked the cruise ship, there will also be some form of security checks which would be done, because even the cruise ship would be protected, because we understand that it would be berthed somewhere in Point Seraphine. So our marine personnel will be working alongside these cruise ships.
Prime Minister Alan Shastney explained that measures will be put in place to assist with the vetting of individuals as they come into the country. He says systems similar to what is being used to assist with the tracking of individuals in quarantine may be used.
Nobody's bypassing the immigration processes. So when they arrive on the cruise ship, all of the typical procedures that we have from immigration to health, all will still happen. Again, because of the numbers of people that are arriving at the same time, what we're hoping to do, we have not confirmed that as yet, that the cruise ship can actually stay in port maybe for a couple of days as we process everybody, so we don't just get 300 people coming off the ship at the same time. But depending on how those conversations go, we will put the proper structures in place, but there will be no reduction or in the protocols or the standards we would normally have when people travel. We do have a tracking system in for St. Lucians who are coming in on quarantine, which is an app. And again, we're looking very quickly to see if we can include that as part of the process.
Daisy explained that there will also be a low tolerance for breaches of quarantine.
When persons have come on land wherever they would be quarantined or would be staying, they would be secured by police officers with the assistance of some cadets. So we would have, it's just like the quarantine sites, we would have officers manning those sites. And where persons have been in private or whatever houses that they are, we will also monitor these persons.
As St. Lucia continues to prepare to welcome the evacuees from St. Vincent, the authorities are assuring the public that the process will be done in the safest way possible for both evacuees and residents of St. Lucia, particularly as the country continues to battle COVID-19. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Genevieve Gonzaga.
The St. Lucia Medical and Dental Association says the medical fraternity stands ready to assist Sister Isles St. Vincent and the Grenadines by any means possible. President of the association, Dr. Merle Clark, however, has informed the public that they should take every precautionary measure being issued and remember that though anxiety levels may mount, we are still in the midst of a pandemic.
After months of monitoring the La Soufre volcano in the neighboring island of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, an explosive eruption occurred Friday morning. Amid efforts to evacuate residents in the red and orange zones to safer areas or other Caribbean islands who have agreed to accept evacuees, the St. Lucia Medical Fraternity says they are ready to help in any way possible. The president of the St. Lucia Medical and Dental Association, Dr. Merle Clark, says while St. Lucia may be fighting its own health crisis, everyone is willing to pitch in to assist where they must.
We fully understand that our healthcare system is not the most robust, but we must be willing to share the little that we have with our Caribbean brothers and sisters. We are hoping, of course, that the few transgressions over the Easter holidays do not set us back as it pertains to COVID-19, that we follow the example in the Bible, in Mark chapter 12, with the widow who gave of the little that she had, and we put everything into assisting our fellow Caribbean colleagues. Again, I say we've been through crises before and we've emerged stronger, and we will emerge strong again. We are a resilient people.
Dr. Clark explained that the time to extend a helping hand to our Caribbean brothers and sisters is now.
St. Vincent, again, in keeping with Caribbean unity, that we are one people, one family, would have donated 5,000 doses of the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine to us here in St. Lucia to help with our vaccination effort. Now is our time to help. Evacuees, certainly, let's just open our hearts and our homes. It has been stated that evacuees would have to be vaccinated, and that is a step in the right direction because, of course, in all of this, we cannot forget that we are living through a pandemic, and of course, we still have to take precautions. We as a region, we've been through crises before. We are living still with COVID-19, but we've been through hurricanes, through floods, through landslides, so many things we've been through, and we've always come back resilient.
She explained that while some of the fears being expressed are warranted, the general public also needs to remember to care for themselves. She makes a strong appeal to the public to not throw caution to the wind when it comes to observing COVID-19 protocol amid frenzy.
We urge St. Lucians, particularly if you have pre-existing conditions, respiratory conditions, to stay inside in as much as possible. If you absolutely have to be outside, ensure that you're wearing a mask. Wear goggles. Ash can exacerbate respiratory symptoms or cause somebody who particularly has an already compromised respiratory system to have symptoms. So we urge you to stay inside as much as possible. It's been quite hot over the past few days, so we urge St. Lucians to remain hydrated, to keep abreast of what is happening in our sister island. We here certainly would have to assist, if it does come to that, with the evacuation effort, and we urge solidarity at this time.
As evacuations continue in St. Vincent, St. Lucia is preparing to receive evacuees. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Genevieve Gonzalez.
The south of the island may be the most affected if the ash emanating from the Lucia volcano in St. Vincent is to affect St. Lucia. The St. Lucia Labour Party endorsed candidate for Choiseul Saltibus Dr. Pauline Antoine Prosper is encouraging members of the constituency to be on guard as it relates to information coming from the neighboring island of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
By this time, we all should be aware of the volcanic activity in our neighboring island, St. Vincent. I care about your health and safety. I urge you to listen to the news for updates. Take advice from NEMO. We must be in a state of readiness in the event of rising sea levels to move to higher grounds. We should store drinking water and ensure that we have medicine in stock.
She explained that there should be widespread observance of all advisories and urged constituents to ensure they guard their health during this time.
Wear your mask or wet cloth to cover your face. Wear glasses instead of your contact lenses. We must remain safe, we must remain vigilant, and we must also remain open to assist people who might have to seek refuge in St. Lucia. My people, let us continue to care.
And that was the SLP endorsed candidate for Choiseul Saltibus, Dr. Pauline Antoine Prosper. And members of the public gave their reactions to news of La Soufrière's eruption over in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
We must understand that nature and anything to do with nature has a course of action. Sometimes what we human beings do to the ozone layer, to the sea, to the land, that's a reflection on our behavior pattern as human beings. So what I advise people to do is we have a volcano of our own. So all the deforestation, all the bad practices, polluting the sea, these things form a chain reaction. So we have to be aware.
I really look at it, we're in a very, we also are in trouble because I think it will affect the entire Caribbean. But then again, it's very sad so far with the eruption in St. Vincent. The last news I heard on the previous eruption, I could imagine that second time it might be more serious. And I think we also they have to be careful because St. Vincent is very close to us. And when I analyze that situation there, I think St. Vincent is in deep trouble. Only one thing that I feel very sorry about the children and the babies who have just been born.
Technically, it's like a new thing to me because I've never seen a volcano erupt, and it's just kind of fascinating to me because I'm young and then I've never experienced it and like want to know what's going to happen after. But my condolences to the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines if they lost loved ones and the households and stuff. Heart goes out to all of them. And if, as St. Lucian people, we have a open hand, open caring policy.
I really feel sad for the Vincentians, and I'm really heartbroken to see so many people are really going through that. I just pray that God will put a hand, though sometimes when God speaks we don't understand.
What we do beneath the water, like you go diving, sometimes they have experiments where people use, go and research it, it's online. People use chemicals, maybe bombings, dynamites to create islands. Look at that, they create islands in the world. And these masses of land, they're all connected. And when you would damage one to fix one and to erect an island on land, what are you doing? These things are all connected, and it may not affect us one time, but it builds up.
I remember 79 or 17, and I remember that erupted the same way. And then, you know, they had a lot of ashes, but I welcome in those people, and if we could open our places for them, we have to, because, you know, we have one also that sometimes you don't know if that one will get it active too. But I wishing all the people well, and especially under that corona time. I wishing everybody well, and just like to pray for them and us and Martinique also, because, you know, we're beating free of them, okay? I hope everything will be correct and safe with them. Just keep our finger crossed and just start praying more.
Still to come, the Ministry of Health on COVAX vaccines, and CIBC donates $90,000 to the immunization program. Do stay with us.